Going live. Okay, hello, guys. I am live on 2 different platforms. This is crazy. I don't quite know how I feel about this. I have one camera here and one camera here, and we're. Hi, Britt. How are you? I'm very excited about this. So, I brought my book because I have a feeling I'm going to be talking a little bit about that kind of stuff. It is first month of the year. Okay. All right. Awesome. I don't know how I feel about the video quality over on YouTube. I'm on YouTube and TikTok. So we're back and forth between 2 platforms. This is kind of cool. Yeah, I know. And that is one of the reasons why I am over on the YouTube as well. I know, I'm going to say a bunch of things I'm not supposed to say. Thank you for the heart me. I appreciate you. We are just rolling with stuff. I am right now streaming on both TikTok over here and the YouTube over here. So I'm excited. A lot of people were like, I didn't even know you could do that. And I'm like, I don't know what it's like. I've never did a stream over there. So we're just trying stuff out, and that's kind of the thing. Jared, how are you? What is going on in your life? I know Britt said she was going to go over there. So did you make it over there? I have my Discord somewhere, but I'll send you a message. I will send you a message, Andrew, and let you know what's going on. But I am the Neuro Circus everywhere. So anywhere, yeah. The video is grainy. It's probably because I'm using my webcam mic, or not mic, but my webcam. So, but really, we're just trying. Hi, Ink. Hello. How are you? We are just chilling, just hanging out. I cannot do my hair down. I just can't. I try all the time for you guys, and I just can't. Call it sensory issues, call it being crazy. I don't know, but I just can't. So there we go. Thank you. I appreciate you, Ink. So like I said, I'm just kind of like playing around with stuff. And that's why I was like, I'm doing a dual live today. So thank you for the heart me. I appreciate you. And I just kind of wanted to like try it out, right? I'm trying to grow. I've had a goal. It'll give you watch time. Oh, yeah. Okay. That's a good thing. You're on YouTube. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. I am Neuro Circus, the Neuro Circus everywhere. I think TikTok is the only one that I have dots between it. I think the rest of them, it is just the Neuro Circus, all one thing. But I've had a goal for a really long time to get a play button. And I let some things try to get in my way. I did some things where I was like, well, it'll be all right, whatever. Like I did really well on TikTok, right? Like that is where I started to get my supporters, my people. I found my community over here. And it's sad but scary that we're at that time where, this time next week, we don't know where we're going to be. So that's why this week is all about implementing things, getting everybody following all my things, because yeah, this is where I'm going to be for the most part. YouTube is my big thing right now. And it's because I've talked to Brittany today and I've talked to Kelsey today. And I told both of them at different points, I believe. I feel like we got on TikTok, and whether we remain on TikTok or not, one way or the other, this is how I feel about it. TikTok gave me the courage. Think we'll be here after next week. I do too. I just want to be cautious because I didn't grow to 6,400 followers on any other platform. And so I don't want to lose my 6,400 followers if I can help it. And I want to make sure that everybody knows how to find me, where to go to find me, and all of that kind of stuff. So that is one of those things where I was saying that I feel like, if nothing else, TikTok gave me and a lot of other people like me the courage and the belief in ourselves that we saw success. We were able to build a community. We had things going. So when I look at it, I'm like, even if it goes away, right? I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful for the connections I made. I'm grateful for the friendships. I'm grateful that the people who are truly meant for me are going to find me other places. They're not going to just, not. I'm grateful that there's lots of choices that we have coming up, right? I hear things about Red Note now, which I'm kind of on the fence about trying out, but I hear a lot of people are going over there. In fact, I've heard it called the TikTok refugee camp. I'm like, oh my, how the tables turn, huh? But watch me get demonetized, or watch me get shut down for saying stuff. But I just really feel deep in my heart, like, no matter what happens, it's happening for a reason, guys. And it's happening to help us. You have not heard of it? Okay. Somebody else probably has a better handle on what it is than me that's in here. If not, I would look it up. From what I hear, I do too. I believe everything happens for a reason. I believe even the really hard things that we don't want to believe happen for a reason because they're just so deep and dark and scary, and we want them to just be coincidences. I believe that even those things happen for a reason because eventually we figure something out. Eventually something good comes out of it. Like, it's sad and it's scary sometimes, but those are my true beliefs. So, but there's Red Note, there's Neptune is a new one that isn't quite in beta yet. That's one that they have a Discord. They also do have a TikTok right now that you can get on and get into their Discord from there. And they're going to start letting people in like, why do I want to call it sections? And I know it's not sections, but like a little bit at a time. So Neptune favorited is another one that a lot of people are going to. So I do have a favorited. I did reserve my name on Neptune. So I will be over there. Hello, how are you? Thank you for coming in. Thank you for the rose. So it's, like I said, I'm just at this place where I think there's a lot of people that are scared. There's a lot of people that are upset. There's also a lot of people who are just rolling with it. Thank you for the heart me, Mama Honey. How are you? Thank you for the heart me, A. Appreciate you. So I am, for those of you who looked at my, like, when I sent you guys out the share and you're like, what on earth is going on? What is it, Jewel? Live? I'm live on YouTube and on TikTok. So my daughter just walked in and she's looking at me like, Mom, you're insane. I have a screen this way.
My face was on camera.
For about 2 seconds, nobody paid attention.
I'm sure they did.
They didn't pay attention, I promise.
I stick out like a sore thumb. I have a black hoodie on.
Yeah, but by the time you walked through there, you were behind.
I'm not being too sassy.
You were behind all my garbage.
Yeah.
Not garbage, but yeah. Hello, Hannah. How are you?
There's no towel. It's right there.
Hold on 1 second, please.
When one of your daughters is too.
All right, we're here.
Oh, dang it. Even the fridge isn't. I thought of you whenever the. I want.
Oh, yeah, the fridge is on that one.
I wanted to look in the fridge.
There, quick.
Thank you.
See what I do for my kid? Hello, how are you?
I'm kind of hungry.
Well, I was going to make pizza when I get off of here. So just chill. You got about 50 minutes, and then I'll be off. And I'll even set the thing up here real fast. So they all decide, oh, yeah, we're hungry, like right when I go live, right? And I had to set this up. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate you. Thank you for the TikToks. Goodness. You're chilling. Yes, you can have some. Just don't eat all of it. It's Uncle Mike's. Oh, did you get out the water or did I leave it out?
Either that or you left it out.
You too. I appreciate you.
Life is a train wreck here.
Oh my goodness. You know what though? I love it because I love that this is the life that I get to live and that I get to hang out with people and that I get to come. What are you going to do? Give me bunny ears now?
I can't do it without.
There. They got to see it on YouTube. They didn't get to see it on TikTok. She's trying.
I give everyone equal.
Oh my goodness. I tell you, never a dull moment. Different set of problems. Yeah. I hear that. Oh, okay. So for those of you who, was it yesterday you did this?
Either yesterday or the day before yesterday.
Anyways, so my daughter, my oldest, created this. I will show it to each camera. This is made out of foam clay. She still has to paint it.
Still have to paint it.
But yeah.
And it still needs a name. We're just calling it an it and a she right now because it doesn't have a name.
I'm looking forward to that part. I really am looking forward to that part of all of it when I get to just hang out and be friends and I don't have to be such a stickler about things. As my daughter's over here dancing.
Let me do something real quick.
Oh my. You guys, this is really a lot funnier. There's some of me is like, I really need to figure out how I could do like a single audio, but the video off of both, because that would just be too funny. So I have my oldest will be 13 in June. And my youngest, I have 2. My youngest just turned 11. So thank you guys for all the likes. I appreciate you guys so much. I am so grateful. I'm going to sneak over here and grab a drink real fast.
You're still on camera on YouTube.
YouTube won't get mad. So,
why
yeah, they are.
Take a drink. That's my question.
Because they don't know what it is, and they can say that it's stuff that I'm not supposed to be drinking on live because there can be kids watching. That's why. So.
That's all I hear from TikTok these days.
Oh my goodness.
I don't even have TikTok on my phone.
Craziness.
I don't even have my
So
phone.
I was going to talk. Actually, this is a really good segue because I was going to talk about goals. And one of the goals that I think a lot of us as parents go through is wanting or needing like time to ourselves, time to do things like that we enjoy, time to do all that. And it can be really, really difficult when you have kids, right? Like it used to be very much so that as soon as I would sit down to like eat something or drink my coffee, here comes a kid needing something and I'd have to stop. I don't know how many times I have done the reheat my coffee 6 different times. So part of my platform, the Neuro Circus. Could you be any louder with that? Don't think you went to the bathroom by yourself for over 20 years. That's true though. Like she is legit just hamming it up over here, making noise, just
chaos. He's like, what's going on?
Oh my. Come here. Come here. Hold on, guys. We have the rare appearance of the circus kitty.
The circus kitty!
What is it? Dual live. So I am live on here, and I am also live on YouTube. So we are in both places right now. So
I'm like a weird kid to eat my cereal and my milk separately.
And my oldest is goodness. Okay.
The oldest being me, the disembodied voice of a child.
Yes, you are. I did this yesterday. I didn't go live on YouTube, but I went live here on TikTok. And I went live here and I had 2 extra kids. My daughter had a friend and her sister spend the night.
Youngest daughter.
So we had 2 extra kids. And I go live and everybody's like, everybody's out of the area, whatever. All of a sudden, here comes everybody out and wanting stuff and wanting to walk through the live and everything. And I'm like, oh my goodness, y'all gotta be kidding me, right? Like, what? Is it good?
The autism experience, eating your cereal separate from your milk.
Yeah, I will give you that. My daughter is right now, she's eating. She's got a bowl of cereal that's dry. And then she's got a cup of milk. And she's like, and they can't touch.
I don't like soggy cereal.
So it's a neurodivergent thing. Or at least a texture issue thing. But so I created the Neuro Circus. It has 3 rings. And the first ring that we talk about in the Neuro Circus is the center ring. And I created a book. I have 3 books. So this is me.
It's a pretty thin book.
It's got my picture on the back.
It is travel size for your convenience.
It's basically a...
I'm sorry that I keep on talking over you.
You owed all those books. Amy does. Amy's amazing, y'all. She is.
Hold it up one more time for me.
Hold it up one more time.
Oh, my hands aren't in frame. Dang it.
Amy, thank you for the roses. So the center ring is all about getting your own needs met, because like they say, you can't pour from an empty cup. You're supposed to put your it is mental health. It is mental health. You're supposed to do like the whole put your oxygen mask on first before your kid, right? I agree with you in a lot of ways about that, the whole, I do. I love, so I have this one, which is the center ring, and then I have the first ring, which is about home and family, and the third ring, which is about work or passion projects. And they all kind of go together, and it's all helping you build systems, and just kind of do the journaling work, if you will, to figure out what kind of life you really want to live. Okay.
Oh, they're not gonna see it, aren't they?
Well, I already showed them that one.
Well, I want it to be there. I want people to be able to like.
I don't know if I can make it on both. I can. That's not going to be visible there either. So sorry.
Womp womp.
I can hold it for a couple minutes. I'll hold my little bunny up. Oh, okay. There goes the hand. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for the ice cream. So, like we talk in the first, I'll give you guys a little taste of it here. And I'm telling you, these are small. Okay. I think this one is like the about the author page in the back is page 32. Okay. So they're small, but they pack a punch in the questions that they ask. And I have a couple of friends. Amy was saying she's got all three. I have a friend who bought the first one, and she's like, I carry it with me so that I have my answers with me when I need them, and I can always refer back to it if I need it. So, okay. So the introduction isn't really... Okay, so we talk about meeting your needs in chapter 2. Okay. And it talks all about like recognizing what your needs are, okay? Because a lot of times I kind of have, so I'm neurodivergent myself, possibly autistic, definitely ADHD. And I have a lot of the traits. And one of those is I have a very, well, not a very special, I mean, it's kind of a normal one that a lot of people have, but I go very deep on psychology. I go very deep on a lot of that stuff. And one of the things that I love, like when I heard about Maslow's hierarchy of needs, it was like I was done. I was all about it. Everything about that made sense to me. And it made sense on a level that, like, especially when we talk about kids, right? When you're a parent. So Maslow's hierarchy of needs starts out with like our basic needs at the bottom. And the idea is we can't climb to the higher levels until we have those needs met at the bottom. So that being said, we get to a point where as neurodivergence, I think a lot of times, and I've heard this, I've looked it up, there's like all kinds of like people that attest to this. As neurodivergents, we like to flip it. Okay, so we like to think that our like self-actualization and like the need for trying to think of what all the different ones are, but like the ones at the top that are supposed to be like after our actual physical needs are met, we like to think that those ones are more important than the physical like ones at the bottom, which is why a lot of us, like, how many times, show of hands around here, how many times have you like forgotten to eat, didn't drink hardly anything all day, sleep was like on the very back burner because you had so much going on? Like that's very common for...
Can I say something real quick?
What, baby?
After you're done like speaking about what you were trying to speak.
Well, go ahead, because
I can say from first-hand experience, I do a lot of those things as well.
Mm-hmm.
I was not turtle for a long, long time.
Mm-hmm.
There's like this one like thing, I can't remember what it's called, but like it has to do with like you can't get your sleep schedules right. Like you don't have like an exact sleep schedule. It's just like all over the place.
Yeah. So we do deal with delayed sleep phase. That's one of the things, which is where you can't fall asleep like a normal person would. It's always like they say, a lot of people, ADHD, autism, anybody who's like technically neurodivergent, a lot of us have an issue where we have trouble falling asleep and won't fall asleep until like, say 12 to 2 in the morning is like a common time frame. Maybe later than that sometimes. And because of that, like, hello, how are you? So we do that. We do that a lot in this house. I homeschool My oldest has autism and ADHD. My youngest has ADHD.
Don't I also have like? Cause we thought about it. I might have dyslexia.
It's it probably is.
And,
yeah.
Have I been diagnosed with ODD?
I with what?
ODD or like something else. It was something else like that.
Oh yeah, ODD. Yeah. ODD is what they kind of refer to now. You like I look at it like if you follow the neurodivergent circles, it's kind of like PDA, pathological demand avoidance. Your oppositional defiance disorder is kind of the same thing. They kind of merge in a way. So
what does that mean?
So it's basically like you like to be in control. And you like to be the one to pick things, and you like to be like, you'll do stuff if it's your idea, you'll do stuff if you do it the way you want to, but the second
I've gotten better about that.
You have. So
also I've gotten better about sleep schedule.
Yeah, I do. You're hanging out over here. Hi, Britt. Hello. Oh, I got 2 people watching. Hey. Hi, guys. I promise I'm not leaving you guys out. We're just hanging out back and forth. So if you're here, if you're watching on YouTube, let me know. Say hi in the comments so I can say hi back. But yeah, so we're talking about neurodivergence. We're talking about a lot of it is right now is about self-care, because I feel like that's the base for everything. When you can get your needs met, when you can get yourself on I get to have my needs, my baseline met first. I find that when I do that, then when curveballs come my way from this way and that way, and I'm a lot calmer and it's easier for me to, get through. You eat by your cravings. So we used to do a lot more of it, and I'm going to get back into it, especially with being on YouTube. I think it's going to be fun. Rhonda, thank you for the heart, me. I appreciate you. How are you? I am live on TikTok here and over here on YouTube. So, but yes, it has been a kind of a stretch for us. But I used to do a lot of like customizable stuff where like I would make, like we'd have pasta, right? And then pasta would be like Alfredo for one kid, spaghetti for the other, because it was like easier to do it that way than it was to have one kid not eat or have to make a separate thing for one kid. So I would just keep things separated. And that's how we did things for a while. Can you tell her mom was like a 80s and 90s kid there? If you heard her, you'll laugh. So
well, I mean,
50. You have to have 50. So yeah, I hit 50 and then the thing went through. So every month they like clear out inactives. So I went through. Okay, what just happened? That was weird.
Oh no.
Okay. I told you, like, this is my life, though. And the thing of it is I love getting to live this life. This is like the best ever, right? Because I get to just, like, every day is something new. Every day is like chaos, but the best kind of chaos, right? Because it's like, it all blends. It's my chaos. It's their chaos. It's like everything. So I'm going to read you guys a couple of the prompts in the second thing here real fast. Okay, so we talk about meeting your needs, and we talk about like mindfulness and mental health, physical self-care, support systems, time management, self-compassion. So then, like, when we go into, thank you for sharing. I appreciate you guys. So when we come over here to the reflections, what do I need more of to feel just right? And that was something that I latched onto from my kids' therapy. It was my daughter's occupational therapist who used to talk about, like, you have to do so much deep work, so much pressure, so much heavy work, whatever, to be in the just right.
Also, by the way, you can go
where
like your thingy.
I know where you're able to like
This is the last bit of honey
work as efficiently as possible for that particular day or whatever. And I love that because that is literally how it feels. Like, almost, I don't know about you guys, but a lot of times in my life, it feels like the stars have to align and be just perfect for me to get the optimal, like, productivity done and everything crossed off my list and whatever. So that's one place where, for me, it felt very important to be in a place where I'm like, okay, what will make me feel just right?
Can I bring this in the picture?
Yes, just bring the bowl back out. Don't make a mess, please.
I do.
Okay. So, one of the things that I do for myself is I try to wake up before the kids wake up. I try to have my caffeine, whatever that looks like for the day, whether that's coffee, whether that's a Monster. We do Monster around here a lot. Or what's the other one? Monster, and then Pure Kick. That's the other one that I do a lot of. So whether that's that, whatever it is, I get the caffeine in me. Okay, thank you. And I try to do some kind of gratitude and some kind of meditation of some sort. And then I feel like, okay, now I can start my day. I'm working more on getting into a getting myself ready schedule. That's on its way. What? Just be nice for right now, please. 30 more minutes. 30 more minutes. Okay. So, yeah. So that is one of those things where that was something that I am working on now. And like I said, I wake up, I get my coffee in me or my, whatever caffeine. Can we just play nice, right? I'm an only child, okay? So I cannot tell you how. Being an only child, there are days when I want to look at my kids and be like, do you know how much you're going to want your sister to be in your life when you get older? Like, you're going to need her. You're going to want her. Just do the best you can to get along, please. So, yeah, there are days when I'm like, you guys need to just please get along. Please. But those are some things that we might need. Another thing that we might need more sleep to feel in that just right place, right? We might need to find a way of getting easy, quick things that we can eat, right? Because I can't tell you, like, being where I'm at now, I'm in a much better place than I was before, like a couple of years ago. But like, it was about 3 years ago. I was in a place where even opening up a can of soup for myself, like, I was eating it cold out of the can some days because pouring it into a bowl and putting it in the microwave and then having to wash the bowl afterwards felt like too much. I did a lot of stuff where we did frozen, like, pizzas and burritos and chicken nuggets and stuff on paper plates. And I was like, that was all I had the capacity for at the time. So I put a lot of myself in these questions that I was like, what were some of the things that you could have used during that, right? So, and how can I get those needs met? So I hear a lot, especially from parents of younger kids. I hear it, well, I don't know if I can really, like, take time out for myself right now. Like, nobody else will be there. Nobody else will take over or do my job. And I have to do my job. And I get that as a parent, we do. We have a responsibility to our kids. We do what we got to do at the time. You are very correct on that one. That is very correct. And I feel from a place of like just really realizing that sometimes we are so far in the trench that we don't realize that like there's two little footholds right there to walk up and get out for a minute and we can go right back in. Gotcha. And that's hard. So my daughter's father passed away 6 years ago now. And I have a friend that was actually his best friend from high school that helps me out a lot with the kids. But I do a lot of it myself too. And that's the hard part because there's what's the word I'm looking for? There's no obligation. Thank you. There's no obligation from the friend to actually help. And I realize that. So I take it for what it's worth. I'm grateful for it. I appreciate that I have it. But I also know that things can change at the drop of a hat. At any moment, something can change. And so I try to sit in a space where I'm grateful for it, but also I try not to get too comfortable in it and too used to it and too, all of that, because that feels very much like it would be very difficult on the other side of things. If I got too used to it and then it went away, it would be like taking a step back. So I try to just appreciate it for what it is. But yeah, I do a lot of the stuff on my own too. And I just had to learn. And I've had people like, well, I have a baby. How do I do that? Like I have a baby. And so I tell people like when I had my kids and they were little, I was blogging at the time. I used to blog. And I tell people that like one of the things that I used to do a lot of is find fast, easy ways to like grab snacks, things like that. Like I would buy the little puffs or some applesauce or something like that. My kids would eat Pop-Tarts. That's one of the things, granted, it's not healthy, but it was an easy go-to. And I would get to a place where I would have whatever I needed ready there for me. And then I could just set it up for them and I could go back to what I was doing for a few minutes. I did that when they were little with bottles. I would get them set up. I'd be giving them a bottle with one hand, like holding it like that with them in my arm like that and typing with this hand on my computer. And I did a lot of that because I had goals and I had dreams and I wasn't going to not be the mom that I wanted to be, but I also wasn't going to put stuff on the back burner. And I feel like a lot of times we get in this place where we feel like we don't have a way out. We feel like we're stuck. We feel like, and really it just takes us kind of slowly climbing out of the trench, right? Thank you for the shares. Like one of the places that I go to with it is when we're at the very bottom and we feel like there's no hope, right? All of a sudden one good thing happens and we start to get a little bit more hope. And then another thing happens and we get a little bit more hope. And then slowly we're building the staircase to climb ourselves out of that trench. And it's not easy. And there are days when I did not do it, right? There are days when a blog post would go by and I was supposed to have it done that day and I wouldn't do it. But there were also days when I did it anyway. And when I did it anyway, and I got done with it, and I was able to sit back, I was like, wow. Like, I am super, super proud of myself right now for doing what I just did. I'm a firm believer not everybody has the same deck to play with, right? We all have our own hand and it's all different. And some of us were dealt twos and threes, okay? But even in a hand of twos and threes, you've got a pair or a three of a kind or a full house. You have to play the cards you're dealt, play the hand you're dealt, and do what you can to move things forward. One of the things that I did, I always had groups of friends to hold to have my back, even if they weren't physically there, right? And I feel like that's what TikTok has done for a lot of us is give us that like group of people to hang out with, that group of people like Ink, who I like literally just met today and is sitting here hurting it up, tapping it up here on my live right now. Like we find the people that we're supposed to find that want to support us. And when we find that, whether that's on TikTok, whether that's on YouTube, whether that's, in our own, backyard, in our coffee shops, in our libraries, in our, playgrounds and whatever, we find the people who are meant to support us. And yeah, it's hard. Okay. I will say social stuff for neurodivergent people is so hard. There are days when I really don't want to be social, but I already said I would, so I have to be. That is just a part of what we do. And I feel like when you can start to kind of allow yourself, yeah, so hard and cringy. It is. It really is. I find that like I have to like do a back and forth, right? So there's part of me where I allow myself to say no sometimes or to change my mind sometimes. But then I also do not allow myself to always do that. I try to tell myself, look at what you're going to gain by doing this social activity. Look at what you're going to gain. Look at what you're teaching your kids. And it's a balancing act, but it's one that we have to own for ourselves. And I feel like a lot of society tells us how we're supposed to do things and what we're supposed to do, how we're supposed to act, and all of that kind of stuff. And when we can come through with this place where we are owning ourselves and we know exactly what we want, we know what we don't want, we know what we can handle, and we know what we can't, and we come to the table with this like, okay, this is my like not demands necessarily, but this is what I will do and this is what I won't do. And if you're willing to work within what I will do, then let's hang out. And if you're not, you can text me. I don't even answer my phone half the time. Okay. In fact, I never answer my phone. The only time I answer my phone is when I know I'm waiting for a call from someone. Other than that, you can leave a message. I'll call you back. Most of the time, I'll text you back. I just don't have the capacity sometimes for that kind of stuff. I also have a lot going on. I'm right now trying to grow my YouTube channel. I'm also, over here on TikTok and working on getting my Instagram back up and running. So, doing all of the things. And also in school. I'm in school for media communications, believe it or not. I'm actually in one of my portfolio classes this month. And so it's really cool that the class that I'm doing, I get to actually create assets and a campaign for next month on my platforms. So I'm loving that. That is exciting. I homeschool my kids. So there's that whole level. I've got a lot going on. We juggle all day long. Thank you. I appreciate you. And I used to be very hard on myself, and a lot of that, I didn't get diagnosed as any kind of neurodivergent until my oldest did when she was 5. So about 8 years ago. And so when you go through your entire life and you know you're different and you know that you're this or you're that, people are like, oh, you're too much. Oh, you're not enough. You need to try harder. Oh, you need to back off on this or calm down this way. And you don't have any reason why you're like that. It just is. So then you start to get to a place where you're like, okay, oh, what's wrong with me? How do I fix this? Right. And we start to people please and we start to fawn and we start to try to do all the things to make all the people in our lives happy, which is not a good thing. And then we have a moment where we find out, no, what you have is called ADHD. What you have is, very possibly autism. What you have is any number of these things that make sense, that make things difficult for us, but also make other things super awesome for us. And it's a back and forth. There are days when I cry because it's just too hard. And then there are days when I am so ridiculously proud of myself and so on fire and let's go and let's do all the things. So it's a back and forth. But when you know and you can accommodate yourself, and I'm a firm believer that there are so many people out there that are neurodivergent that have never been diagnosed. And they tend to take the side of, you don't really need an accommodation, do you? I mean, like, can't you just suck it up and do it? Because, like, I don't want to do stuff sometimes and I just suck it up. I was told all my life, just, you got to do it whether you want to or not. Just suck it up and do it. I get so frustrated when people come at me like that from me accommodating myself, because here's the point of it. You have the right, every single person watching this now, watching this later, watching this on a replay, watching this in a video I create later from this, all of you guys have the right to accommodate yourselves. If you see an accommodation that will help you, just take it. Just take it. Quit thinking that you don't deserve it or it's not for you or whatever. Accommodations are just things that help us where we need help. Everybody needs help sometimes. Like, I really feel like sometimes people make such a big deal. Oh, you really don't need that and you're milking that and you're whatever. If the job is getting done and getting done the way it needs to be getting done, and the person is happy and it's not hurting anybody and it's not taking away from somebody else, why is it a problem? Why is it a problem? I don't get it. I think a lot of us had parents who saw us struggle, and our parents or grandparents were like, you need to try harder because life is not going to hand anything to you. I find myself sometimes saying this to my own kids nowadays, where I will say stuff like, you know what? I love you and I want you to do your best and I want you to try, but you're going to have to put effort in. You're going to have to try because life doesn't hand things to people. You can put your hand out, and if you're doing the work, you'll get something for it, but you have to put the work in. But here's the thing about putting the work in. Putting the work in does not mean burning yourself out to no end. It does not mean having zero energy left at the end of the day. It does not mean I have to be in physical pain, in mental anguish. We should not be at that place. And if that is the place that we are in at the end of the day, then we need an accommodation. Okay? We need to find the accommodations to put us on the even playing field with everybody else, so we're able to do the work, get the work done, and then still have a life afterwards, right? Like so many other people do. So this book right here, Centering. And then, like I said, I have one about home and family. I have one about work and business or passion projects. I feel like a lot of neurodivergent people want to run their own business, want to, even if it's not a business, even if it's just like, okay, I have this, I love doing art, or I have this talent, or whatever. There's things that we have that we need to make time for, and that we need to find ways to kind of weave into our life so that we're happy, so that we can do the things that make us happy. So those are the books. There is on my Beacons, which is my link in bio, it has the Amazon links for those books. You can get those on Amazon. And I'm also going to be doing, so I'm kind of doing a pre thing here. So the month of February, I have 3 Discords right now, 3 Discord servers. So my first Discord server that I ever opened up or started was for my subscribers on TikTok. Then I decided that I wanted a place for everyone to just be able to come, hang out, share what was at the time their TikToks and their lives and all of that kind of stuff. It is now kind of morphed into an all social media Discord server. So I have stuff on there for YouTube. I have stuff on there for Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Pinterest, YouTube. There's links for everything in there. There's spaces for you to share stuff in there. And we're starting to pull people from different social media places into this server to help us with questions and things like that. Hi, Britt. How are you? Thank you for coming back. That is free. I also have membership levels available, but to get all of the benefits from that, it's free to come in. So if you want in there, let me know. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for coming in. Thank you. And I also have an Autism Mamas server over there. So over in the Autism Mamas server, we're going to be working on going through this. So I appreciate you too, and I'm so grateful that I met you. Thank you so much for coming in, and I look forward to binging some of your content. So, and if you want into the servers, just let me know, and I will get you a link into them, because we're going to be doing 30 days of a deep dive into like this book. And then on the social media one, it's called Social Superstars, we're going to be doing a 30-day content creation challenge over there. So that's my February exciting stuff going on. So, okay, I will get you in there. As soon as I'm done with this, I will go in there, get the link for you, and send it to you. So, alrighty, I'm going to go ahead and end this stream over here on YouTube real fast. You guys have been amazing. I appreciate you guys. I am so excited to be able to be on here now. To be able to stream on here is exciting. So I look forward to coming more and more over here and hanging out with you guys. I'm Kimberly Cox from the Neuro Circus, and I will talk to you guys all later.